Hey, welcome back to another video by Cadet Rob 1985. And today we're going to be doing the U.S. Coast Guard enlisted rates. I hope I'm getting this right. When I did my Navy one, I got a lot of flack about calling them ranks when they are in fact rates. So we'll try to do this correct this time. So from um, all the research, and I will include all the research links in the description below. So the first rates I can find for the Coast Guard go back to the U.S. Revenue Cutter Service in 1908. There may have been some before that, but I can't find any good literature on it. If anybody knows of any, please put that in the comments below. Links to any literature from any ratings, I mean not ratings, rates before 1908. All right, so let's go on. All right, so in 1908, they kind of mirror those of the Navy, in that you have your seaman third class, second class, and first class, indicated by the single stripe, double stripe, and triple stripe on the sleeve, right, at the cuff of the sleeve at the hand. Petty officers, you have petty officer second class, first class, and permanent first class. So petty officer second class was 2 stripes, and then there was a temporary rank of petty officer first class, which was 3 chevrons, and then you had 3 gold chevrons with a rocker as the permanent petty officer first class. It's interesting. I really don't know, and if anybody does know, why the temporary and permanent. And so this continues into, and you see that the stripes are white on red with the chevrons, and gold for the first class. In 1915, they changed them, so seaman third, second, and first are still the same. But they add the petty officer third class with the single chevron, and then second class, first class, and you have your temporary and permanent. So interesting there with that whole temporary and permanent. Then the grade system comes into effect, and so even in the Treasury Department, where the Coast Guard was at the time in 1920, they also follow the pay grade system that the other military services were doing. And so you have your 7 grades. Nothing else really changes. You have your 7 grades added in. And then in 1948 is the next major shift. And this is where all the services added went to the 9, the E1 through E9, which are the enlisted, E standing for enlisted. And all the services did this in 1948, when they added what they call the super grades of E9, E8, and E9. But you also see that the Coast Guard really changes up things to kind of match the Navy in many respects. You see them changing out the E1 through E3. You've got the seaman recruit, seaman apprentice, and seaman. But then you also have those are the traditional white stripes. But they changed from the cuffs of the shirt sleeve, right, the dress shirt sleeve, to now the sleeve on the one sleeve, just like the upper rates. It's going to be hard for me to say that. But now you have the airman recruit, airman apprentice, and airman, as well as also the fireman recruit, fireman apprentice, and fireman, right? So you have the white, the green, and the blue, depending on the track, their career track, right, that they're following. And then you do see some change in the crow, right? It's not facing to the right anymore. It's now facing to the left, and it's more silver than white. And I know it's not a crow, it's an eagle, but they're often called crows in the service. and and the the chevron stripes are a little more stylized than they were in the past. They're still red from E4 through E6 and through petty officer third, second, and first class. And now you have your chief petty officer, right? He was before the chief petty officer, but now you have your gold stripes for 12 or more years of good service. And now you have your senior chief and your master chief, indicated by the stars, the single star and the double stars for your E8 and E9. Okay, so not much change then until 1969, where they bring in the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard. And all the services during this time period, 1969 through 1976, roughly, were bringing in this new position, right? And so you see they're splitting the E9. And really, this is a single person, right? There's only one Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard. And so that's a singular position. But it does represent a new split of the E9. Okay, and then in 1976, you see the shade of the insignia now becomes Coast Guard blue, right? And you see they drop the recruit from the airman and fireman apprentice. All recruits just start off with the single white insignia, one stripe. And then they split at E2 into the different branches. So this pretty much represents, basic training at E1. And then by E2, most of your Coast Guardsmen and women are going to be E2s. And then for sure, you would think by the time they finish their more advanced training, they would be an E2 and be a seaman apprentice or an airman apprentice or fireman's apprentice. So, and then, the rest of the insignia is the same except for the coloration. And then 2015 to the present, still pretty much the same. The Coast Guard probably has some of the least amount of change in their insignia of any of the branches. And they've only added one new, and that is the Command Master Chief Petty Officer. And you can see the difference is, the gold shield. So you can see the Master Chief Petty Officer has the gold shield. Now the Command Master Chief Petty Officer also has that gold shield, right? And so they would be in high command positions of larger formations of ships, bases, things of that nature in the Coast Guard. And as far as I know, they have not switched like the Navy has, that the gold stripes indicate 12 consecutive years of good service. All right, this has been another great video about insignia from Cadet Rob, 1985. I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment, subscribe, share, and like.